It's me, JB. It is Wednesday, and we're going to be doing a segment called Why Do I Need That? So, I wanted to start a segment about different items in our skincare regimen or in our makeup regimen of items that some women don't know why do they need that. And so, there's a few things that I have been asked about, and women asking me, like, well, why do I need to use that? So I actually did a poll on my Space by JB group page, and it surprised me at how many women didn't know that they even needed to use primer and the purpose of it. So I wanted to go a little bit into this. Now this video I have actually already filmed once, lost parts of it, and had to totally refilm it again. So when I did this poll, it was actually a few months ago. So if you actually did the poll, you'd be like, well, you hadn't done a poll on that. Go back to like August or July or whenever I did the poll the first go around, and now I'm just now getting back to filming this. So in this segment, I'm going to cover 5 different things. The first thing is what they say. That's what the company claims that the product will do. The second thing are the facts. That's what the ingredients say that it actually will do. Number 3 is the lowdown. That's the price, the size, and the shelf life. The who is who it like this. That means you out there, like what if you had this certain type of skin or this certain type of skin condition, like who would like this item, like who would be the person who would be ideal to purchase this item. And then the 5th thing will be my thoughts, because it's my channel and I'm gonna give my thoughts. So a little bit about me, if you have not seen any of my other videos, I am a makeup artist, been a makeup artist now, I believe. I feel like I keep changing the years lower to not show off my age, but I've been a makeup artist now for at least 15 years. I've been an esthetician for 8, so I am licensed in the state of Texas as an esthetician. So that's a little bit about me. And now let's get into it. So makeup primer is the base for your foundation or your face makeup that allows it to go on smoother and also to last longer. It also protects your face like a barrier from the makeup. Many makeup primers are formulated with a silicone-based polymers, so they also, you'll notice a lot of times, will give a very ultra smoothing effect. We're also going to talk a little bit more about silicones, because I know a lot of people are afraid of the word silicones, so I am going to go into that a little bit deeper when we go into the ingredients. But that's a little bit about makeup primer. And so I like to tell my clients that, and as I say this, some people are already going to be like, what? But I don't think it's any news. Makeup is not good for your face. Your primer is what you're using to protect your face from that makeup penetrating even deeper into your pores. So you really do need that primer. It also helps it to last longer, which is great. But my main reason for me putting on that makeup primer has nothing to do with long lasting. It has to do with the fact of I need to protect my skin from the stuff that's about to be on top of it, because I am wise enough to know that makeup is not good for your skin. I still love makeup. There's a lot of things that aren't good for us that we still like. I love makeup. It's not good for our skin. So I'm going to protect my skin from having the makeup be pushed further into my pores by using a primer. So that's in a nutshell. So I know some of you need to pick yourself off the floor because you didn't realize that makeup is not the best thing for your face. But it's not. We love it anyway, and we move on. Okay, so let's get into silicone, because this scares people. And I'm going to be reading some of this because I don't want to mix up this definition, because it's very, very important. And I'm actually probably will put the words on the bottom of the screen, some of them, so to understand the 2 different things that we're talking about here. So silicone are polymers that are included in inert synthetic compounds that are made up of repeated units of siloxane, which is a chain of alternating silicon atoms and oxygen atoms frequently combined with carbon and or hydrogen. They are typically heat resistant and rubber-like and are used in sealants, adhesives, lubricants, medicine, cooking utensils, and thermal and electrical insulation. Now, that is the reason why this scares people. Now, we're going to, with all that being said, so now we're going to go into this a little bit different. So silicone, which I'm going to put at the bottom with an E on the end, is sometimes mistakenly referred to as silicone without an E. So there are a difference between these two, and I think sometimes when the descriptions of these are being made, a lot of people, they get one mixed up with the other, which makes them think that it is a lot worse for their skin than it really is. Now, silicone without the E is widely used in computers and other electronic equipment, although silicones with an E contains silicone without an E atoms. They also include carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and perhaps other kind of atoms as well. So they have a very different makeup, and so their chemical properties are not the same. And because of the fact that silicone with an E also contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, it's not the same as a silicone without an E. And so I think a lot of people, when they see these things, they think of like, oh my gosh, like, what am I putting on my face? But there is a difference. And if you've actually study chemistry, I don't know if anyone out there has, probably not too many people. That was my minor. You'll realize a lot of these things that sound the same, because of just a slight difference, it makes something totally different. So it's not as bad as what people think that it is. Now, silicones with an E exhibit many useful characteristics that make them great to use in primers. They are a low chemical reactivity, so that means like a lot of people won't have a reaction to it. A lot of people think that silicone clogs their pores, but silicone actually sits on the top of the surface. It doesn't really go into your pores, but a lot of people think that it is. But a lot of times, if they are being mixed with other things, it might be other things that are clogging your pores and not actually the silicone. The ability to repel water and forms a watertight seal. That right there is what I love, because what it does is it sits on top of your skin. It forms a seal, so it keeps all that makeup from penetrating deeper into your pores. And that's the reason why when it comes to silicone, I love a primer that has a silicone in it. So hopefully that explains a little bit more to you about those particular that particular ingredient, because I know that it's one that gets a lot of people all up in arms, because they think that, oh my gosh, it's going to clog my pores, it's going to cause me to have breakouts and this and that and the other, and it's just, it's not going to. So just feel free to do a little bit of research on your own and check it out, and find out, you know, if maybe silicone based products are not great for your skin for whatever reason, and maybe you just don't like them, well, that's fine. But you know, don't let the hype of what everybody else says really kind of dictate which direction you go, because silicone shouldn't be given a bad rap, because it's actually really good when it comes to being used as a makeup primer. First primer that we are going to talk about is the POREfessional primer from Benefit Cosmetics. So I actually only have sample sizes of these, and the reason is it is not the best one for my skin type, but there is something that I do like to use it for, and so I do get like small sizes of these. I try to keep up with samples and stuff, because of the fact that it's not one that I really go through quite often. But let's get into what they say. So what they say about it is that it quickly minimizes the appearance of pores and fine lines for smoother than smooth skin. Apply this silky, lightweight balm alone, under or over makeup. Translucent, oil-free formula complements all skin tones and helps makeup stay put. Contains a vitamin E derivative known to protect skin from free radicals. They suggest that you pat this into problem areas and blend with fingertips. So that is what they say about their products. So some of the facts when it comes to the ingredients. There are 3 highest concentration of ingredients, and I will put them down below, because trying to go into the pronunciation of all of them is quite crazy. But they are all silicone compounds, and you can tell by the endings of them that they are. And so it is cyclopentylizane, Dithacome, and then 2 other cross palmers and whatever whatnots. I am not very good with pronouncing these. I wasn't very good at pronouncing them when I was in school, when I tried to learn how, and I'm still not. But they are all silicone compounds. So the first, and that's not all the ingredients. I'm only going with the first 3 because we can be here forever talking about all of them. But the first 3 highest concentrate. So the lowdown, they have a 0.72 ounce, which is $31. And then they have a mini, which this is a mini. It is 0.25 ounces, and it is $12. So that's the lowdown when it comes to what they have available price-wise. The Who. So, as they have stated, this works great for all skin tones. Well, I'm not going to agree with that. So, I think that this works great for those who are trying to minimize their pores and have a bit more oil. So the people who are usually trying to minimize their pores are people with more of an oilier skin type. I am actually a normal to dry skin type. So I'm normal in my T-zone, drier in my cheek areas. I get this to actually use in my nose area when I have a higher amount of oil production. I've noticed that there will be certain times, depending on what I'm eating or what's going on, that I will get a little bit more of an oil production in my nose area. And so I will use this for that. And that's actually the only thing that I use this for, is in that nose area, when my oil glands decide they want to overproduce and become oily. So I use this to kind of help to control that oil in that area so that I don't have any shine. So that's kind of where it is with that. My thoughts on this primer: I like this primer, I use it, but it of course is not in my top, and one of my top, and actually not even probably in my top 2, because of the fact that it is not for my skin type. So if you have more of an oilier skin type, or if you are trying to control oil, this is right. This one right here will work really, really well for you. If you are someone who has little places that you have a little shine, you may want to get a mini one of these just to have on hand, and that's what I do. I just keep a mini to have on hand just to use in those areas. But I would never buy a full size of it because of the fact it is not meant for my skin type. So the next primer we are going to talk about is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This right here, I actually have a small one of these, and I will explain why. This primer right here used to be my everything, and it has been replaced, and that's the reason why now I only have a small one of it. I still use it because I still love it. It has all my silicone goodness in it, but it has been replaced. So it is now, the last time that I ran out, well, I guess I'll tell that story on another primer, but I ran out, and that's when I only started getting this. So let's get back into the what they say. So what they say is it creates a perfect canvas for foundation application with the silky, lightweight blend of vitamin A and E, grapeseed extract, and green tea. Worn alone or under foundation, Smashbox best-selling oil-free primer helps to reduce the appearance of fine lines and pores for flawless skin with a velvety, smooth finish. And I will 100% agree with that, except for the pores. I don't think I've ever noticed it reducing the appearance of pores, but I'll agree with everything else because that is what silicone-based products are made to do. So that is what this is. The fact on these, the top 3 ingredients are silicone-based products. So this right here is all about the silicone and the silky and the smooth, and I absolutely love and adore that because of this. This is actually the primer that I am wearing today. Whenever I want to get the appearance of being absolutely like porcelain, this is what I use. I love, 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 love this primer for that. So the lowdown, there is a 1 ounce which retails for $36, and the mini, which is 0.5, which retails for $16. The Who. Now this one right here will work well for several different skin types. But here's the thing. If you have an oilier skin and you are still wanting to get like that velvety look, you're going to want to make sure that you use a moisturizer that is meant for oil control before you put this on top, because this will not help to stop any oil. What it's going to do is just going to trap the oil in. So this is not going to like stop, you know, help to mattify that oil production. So you would want to make sure you use a moisturizer that has a mattifier in it if you want it to get that silky look, and use that one. If you just absolutely love this one and you have oilier skin, then great. They do have other options. I like this one because of the fact of, I do believe it does what it says that it does. And it does give that velvety smooth finish. I absolutely adore it. This was a primer I thought would never be replaced in my eyes, and it has been replaced. Well, you know what? Maybe they're just side by side, depending on what day it is, because I did only use this one today. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay, the next one on our list is the Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complexion Primer. Now, this is what Urban Decay says. Wish your makeup primer adapted to you instead of the other way around. Enter Urban Decay Self-Adjusting Complexion Primer. This color-correcting formula creates encapsulated pigment that actually adjusts to your skin tone. Self-adjusting complexion primer creates the perfect soft focus effect, so flaws seem to disappear and make your makeup last all day. Okay, so the facts. The first ingredient is an isodecane, and I believe that is the correct way to pronounce that. Synthetic hydrocarbon ingredient used as a solvent. It enhances spreadability of product and has a weightless feel on the skin. So this product is used to prevent the evaporation of water from the skin, and it's supposed to not clog the pores. So it makes everything go on really, really smooth. The second two top ingredients are a type of silicone. So that's the facts on this one. So its top three ingredients are a little bit different from the other ones. Of course, there's other ingredients that fall after, but we're not going into all of them as much. But now let's get into the lowdown. So the lowdown is that this 0.95 ounce is $34. There is no mini available for this. The Who. Now, the person who would really need to use this type of primer would be someone who would want to adjust some adjustment to their skin tone, but you don't want to wear something that's full coverage. Now, I'm having a hard time with the Who because the Who almost goes into my thoughts, so I'm going to just go ahead and get into my thoughts. So, I use a medium to full coverage foundation. So putting this on underneath my foundation, yeah, it's like just, it's useless. It's useless because I can see a difference in my skin when I put it on. I can see that it works. You know, it's adjusting. It's adjusting my skin tone, but once I put my medium or full coverage on, it doesn't even matter that it's under there anymore. Now, something that I discovered after working with this for weeks and trying to figure out like what's the best way to use this, I've discovered that this right here actually gives you a very good awake look if you are wanting to have a day where you're not wearing any makeup. So I did this a couple of days. I put it on because it does give you a kind of a fresh, more awake look. So I put this on a couple of days and didn't wear any makeup, and it made me feel like, okay, I didn't look so drab, but my face had a little bit of a little sparkle to it. It had a little bit of a glow. This also works really, really good if you're having one of those days where you want to wear some makeup but not a lot of makeup, and maybe you just want to do a powder. This right here works really, really well underneath a nice like powder, or if you use something that's a little bit more lightweight or light coverage. So this, I'm not going to say that I don't like it. I will say that once this is all gone, I will not be repurchasing it. It's not something that is worth the money for me to repurchase. But I don't not like. So when I really think about the who when it comes to this product, this is really for that doll that really, like, I like makeup, but I don't like to wear a lot of makeup. I don't want to wear anything full coverage. I want to be natural. I just want to be fresh. Or for that mom that's on the go that's like, I can't do all these different items, because this will give you a fresh and awake look. I do like that part about it. So you can put this on in the morning and not have on any makeup, or put this on, do a little mascara, maybe put a little blush on your cheeks, and be good for the day, and feel really good about yourself, and not feel like you just look like you just woke up. Because I'm that person that when I wake up, I look like I just woke up, and I look like I just woke up for a long time, and not like, oh, I just woke up from a little nap. No, like I woke up from a hard sleep, sleeping on my face, and like people poking me and stuff. Like, it's rough. My wake up face is a rough wake up face. So I do like to use this on those days where there's nothing going on. But I will admit, with full disclosure, that once this is gone, I will not be repurchasing it. So that's my thoughts on that. And I do love Urban Decay. If you watch any of my videos, love some Urban Decay. Just not that. Okay, so my next primer is and I didn't realize I had 2 Urban Decays in there, is the Urban Decay Quick Fix Hydra-Charged Complexion Prepping Priming Spray. I got this because I had to see like what this was all about. So, yeah, so I got this to see what it's all about, and we'll get into what it's all about. So what they say is the evidence of your late night, Urban Decay has to like tell a story, tell you about their products, and I put these all directly from their website. So, is the evidence of your late night escapade showing all over your pretty face? Once you cleanse your post-party complexion, balance and rejuvenate your skin with Urban Decay Quick Fix Hydro-Charged Complexion Prep Priming Spray. That's a lot of words, just a lot of words. So the first ingredient in this is actually water, which is great. Then after that, it is a type of witch hazel. I'm going to go ahead and put these across the bottom. I'm trying to give these to you in more layman's terms, because some of these, you know, you'd be like, what is that? It's a type of witch hazel. Well, witch hazel water. So it enhances the appearance of dry or damaged skin. It helps reduce flakiness and restores the suppleness in your skin. Okay, so the last ingredient is niacinamide, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's used to help with anti-aging skin, and it also has coconut water in it too, for those of y'all who like coconut water. So the lowdown, they have a 4 ounce, which is $31. They also have a 1 full ounce. I couldn't remember what it was. That's the travel size. That is $1. That's the reason why I got in travel size, because I wanted to figure out I wanted to know a little bit more about what this was all about and give it a fair shake. So the who that this would work best on are people with dehydrated skin. Now, dehydrated or dry skin, I'll say both. Now my thoughts. My first thought is, this is great, but it's not a primer. This is a good toner, but primer, not so much. That's actually how I've been using it. I've actually used it as a primer, and I was using it as a setting spray. I actually ran out of it not too long ago, and do not plan to repurchase it. It's great, but I have other toners that I like, and this is not, in my opinion, what I would consider a primer. And so, but it's good. I mean, it's really, really good for a little refresher if you want to have it in your bag and spray and refreshen up your face. That's great, but to use this as a primer, I wouldn't. I did try it as a primer because I was trying it out as that, but it did not do what I needed it to do. And I do have dehydrated skin, and it did not do what I needed it to do primer wise. So no, I will not be repurchasing it. It ran out, and the only reason why I hung on to it is because I knew that I needed to refilm this video. I think I ran out of it last month or maybe a couple of weeks ago. My concept of time is really, really off, but I know it's been since I've moved, and so I can kind of narrow it down a little bit by that. It's a great product. If you are looking for a true primer, that is going to leave you wanting more. So that's my thoughts on it. So I have saved the best for last. My new favorite love when it comes to primer, the Becca First Light Primer. This right here, oh, this makes me very, very happy. Yeah, it's. I mean, Smashbox. It's just like they're just like neck and neck. Cause some days, depending on what's happening, yeah, we'll get into that. Let me get into what they say, and we'll go from there. A wake-up call for your skin. First Light Priming Filter. Instant complex refreshes, brightens lackluster and dull skin, and instantly refresh the complexion. Skin goes from dull, dry, and fatigued to hydrated, healthy, and awake. The perfect primer to create fresh canvas for an all-day makeup wear. So the facts: the first ingredient in this primer is water. The second ingredient is an ethoxylene palmate, which gives the skin a soft and smooth appearance. It is a derivative of palm oil, often used as an organic replacement for silicone. So, and then glycerin is also the last to round out the top 3 ingredients. So, the lowdown on it. They have it in a 1 ounce, which is $38. The Who. This is good for dry or even dehydrated skin. Those who are feel like their skin have any dullness, puffiness. This would be really, really good for you for that. So now I think that's all. Yeah, that's all my notes for those. My thoughts on this, of course, is I love this. This right here. I have a tendency, so I am a normal to dry. Dry meaning lacking oil. I'm also dehydrated, which means that I lack water. The reason is because I believe that Dr. Pepper is God's gift to me. And because of that, I have a tendency to be a little bit more on the dehydrated side. Now, when we start to get colder weather like now, I tend to go a little bit more towards anything that's going to put more hydration in my skin. So this right here, I really, really enjoy during this time of year. Sometimes I do this little thing where I actually use both of these because I love, 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 love this one. So during the winter months, I may notice, because of my dehydration, some flakiness around like this little area right in here of my nose and around my mouth. So I'll go in with this primer and then with the Becca primer, and then use the Smashbox everywhere else, so I could still have that silky, velvety look, but then also have that primer that gives me a little bit of hydration around my mouth. I do not like to layer these two on top. I did try that once to see if I could use the Becca all over and then use the Smashbox primer to kind of to seal that in. It did not give a really, really good effect. And so I did not like using those. I knew it was far-fetched for me to do that, but it did not work well. I have used an oil underneath this one, and it works well if you let the oil dry really, really good. But I do love the Becca. I love that the first ingredients in this is water. Anytime the first ingredients is water in anything that has to do with your skin, of course you get excited, because especially those of us who do have dehydration, because we're like, I just need all the water, all the waters just pushed into my skin as much as possible. So these two right here, and that's why I say like it has surpassed it because of the fact that I'm dehydrated. But when I am really going for that silky, silky look, I will go for this one because this doesn't give me that silky fine over look. So I'll go for the Smashbox. I will go in with my Dermalogica um, um, Hydro Mist primer, Hydro Mist toner, and I'll go in and spray that all over my face. Give it like a half a second to dry, and then I'll go on with this and kind of seal in all that moisture, and then do my makeup. I'll do that in the lieu of this when I want that really, really nice, velvety, just picture perfect type of skin, which is not all too often that I want to be super, super perfect, but sometimes you do have things that you do. I still do things with pageants, and so a lot of times with that, I do want my skin to look flawless, just because, you want people to think that, you look flawless. So anyway, those are the two ones that, of course, above all, are my favorite. But the reason that they are my favorite are because I do tend to gravitate towards stuff that's going to work best for my skin type, of course. So I am really catering to the fact that I have that normal to dry, dehydrated skin. So those two products work great for me. And then, of course, third is my the POREfessional, because of the fact that I will sometimes get that oiliness in that nose area where I need to get that shine down. So I always keep a mini one of these on hand, just to kind of have that, just in case we have some shininess problems going on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on why do we need that. And with this being said, if there's not a primer in here that you like, or if you have one that you really, really do you like, or you're like, well, I only use that every once in a while, I hope maybe this gave you a little bit more of an insight into the reason why you need to have that primer, why you need to use that to kind of to give your skin a little bit of a barrier, to just help to combat getting all those makeup and products into your skin, and also to give you that flawless look that you want, and make your makeup last all day. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up. I do have a Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I am taking some step back to do some things I need to do. So the best way to reach me, if you have any questions or any concern, is to send me a message through Facebook, since there is a separate app for that. I always keep that app open. I check everything else either once a week or every other week, and I'm trying to get on a better schedule so I know exactly what day I'm going to check them, and kind of try to answer everything at that point in time. So I hope this video helped you out a little bit. And just in case I didn't explain it, when I was talking about the top 3 ingredients on an ingredients list, whatever is listed first, it has the most of that in it. So I wanted to go through the top 3, just because some of these have, sometimes up to 50 different ingredients in them. So I wanted to concentrate on the top ones, because that is what is mostly in that product. And so those are the things that you should be a little bit more concerned with when it comes to certain things, because you may not be able to get away from silicone. But if you're like, I'm so against it, I don't want it on my skin, maybe you can find a primer that maybe it's low in silicone. Depending on what it is that you're looking for, just kind of go into those ingredients, do a little research for yourself. Understanding the ingredients of your product is the most important thing that you can ever do for yourself. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay gorgeous.